Welcome back to Gravity Rush. We'll be finishing Raven's DLC chapter this time. Unshed Tears, whatever that means, I guess. Also, hi God, your Force Ghost now.
Oh wow, I
Awkward cut to Luke and Leia standing in the sand.
I feel some intense relief that we're finally finishing the DLC chapter because with the possible exception of the one from The Last of Us, which was basically an interactive movie, you these DLC chapters are always undercooked. I'm sorry. Even when they're kind of decent.
Yeah.
Eh.
Again, at least this is free, so if you buy the game now, it just comes with it.
Oh yeah.
They were never charging money for this.
Well, that's fine,
So it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I say this and we're getting the Fire Emblem Three Houses Ashen Wolves DLC tomorrow. So I'm hoping that's not the same kind of deal, but it probably will be. This kind of half-cooked side story mode that you complete so that you can recruit the Ashen Wolves in the main game.
I still want a mod of Fire Emblem Three Houses eventually, where you start the DLC, the Ashen Wolves. You go down into the basement of the monastery, and it's just Eric, Hyde, and everyone else from that '70s show just sitting on the couch.
That would be funny if I understood the reference, but I don't.
They live in the basement.
Okay.
That's the joke. They live in the basement.
Oh, okay. Alright, well. Corkscrew kick. Yeah, it's Gravity Rush. Alright.
And we have to protect the Ark.
So,
but not from the Biolizard, from these weird creatures.
Is Cat aware of what's happening? Is time frozen or something?
Nope, time's still frozen, yep.
That's convenient.
The world effectively blue screened.
She's probably I don't know, buying popcorn.
Here's
or whatever.
my question: why is Raven the one who gets to be aware during all this?
Because it's her plot thread.
So there's no actual explanation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are. I'm pretty sure. No, here's the thing. Look, we're commentating over this without having actually played it ourselves. I'm pretty sure there's an in-game explanation. It's just that we haven't played it.
We talked, and we also talked over all the
Yeah, we all talked over.
So
everything.
there is an explanation. We just missed it.
There probably is, but like I said, the explanation is basically it's Raven's plot thread because it involves the Ark.
Well,
So she's related to it, therefore is unaffected.
oh. Okay. Sure. I guess that makes sense. I guess. Ish. It's just kind of weird that we're resolving this cliffhanger from the first game in a between-game DLC. I mean, it's not as weird as some other between-game plot thread resolutions that I've seen. Infamous 1, for example, leaves all the bosses alive, presumably as sequel bait so that they can return in the second game, but then they decided not to have that happen, so they just kill them all off in a DC comic betweener thing. The garbage boss, whatever his fucking name is, Alden, maybe? He just gets dissected off panel by Moira, and Moira drowns in a boat. A ship, rather. She drowns.
Nice boat.
And then it's okay. I mean, I wanted to fight these guys
John gets
in
a reference.
Infamous 2, but I guess Infamous 2 didn't need interesting boss fights.
I mean, I guess not. Did it have good boss fights?
No.
Oh.
It had a
you
custom
go.
content creation thing that was pretty cool. So, there's stuff that evens out.
I swear to Christ, I'm in control here.
In control of what?
No, okay. It's a holdover from the first game we talked about. This is where you don't look like you're exactly in control when you're
Oh yeah, no,
manipulating
The
gravity.
flying is roughly the same because there's not really any way to do that better.
Yeah,
But the attacking, the throwing stuff, that's all way better in this game.
Ryan, this isn't flying. It's falling with style.
You're not wrong, is the thing.
Well,
that's basically what it is.
I mean, if you think about what it must feel like to have this kind of power, you can change where you're falling, but you're still falling. So you
Yes.
really
Yeah.
don't have much control over how you're going around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they make it feel like falling more than flying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, which in a way makes it easier to control than just regular flight is.
well, yeah, you're not
yeah, it
fiddling with
it
your
depen-
analog stick. You're pointing the camera and saying,
it's
"I want to fall
all
this
very
way."
momentum based.
Flight kind of, especially when you think about how a lot of things fly in the real world, flight kind of depends on you constantly moving forward. which is why when you have the kind of things that are like helicopters where you can like move in 6 degrees of movement.
And strafe and
yeah,
all that.
You technically have more control, but it's much more awkward.
Yeah. Ooh.
It looked like you were pressing one of those like giant cartoon buttons when you were kicking it.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm just gonna keep booping you.
Because the way the light flashes, it just kind of looks like you're like going boop, 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 boop.
But you know,
Is the corkscrew your most damaging attack, or is it like the shadow orbs or whatever shit that is?
It's just the easiest thing to use to build up your meter. See how the red meter underneath my health is my special meter. That's
Okay.
what lets me get the giant orbs that I can throw at
It
things.
doesn't-
Or if I fill it up, I can do a giant Giga Crush kind of attack.
it really doesn't look like it should be all that damaging. I mean, yeah.
No, it's not. It's continuous, but it's weaker than Kath's dive kick. Is how they attempt to balance
Yeah,
it.
but this looks painful. Like this looks like a sure.
Yeah.
Drop
Yeah,
kick,
because
drop kick.
I'm
Drop
in
kicks everywhere.
I'm in the super mode now. So
Oh, and when you're in the
Yeah,
super
it-
mode, you don't
you
use up
don't-
gravity at all.
no, you just straight up fly. Yay, we did it.
I kicked the fucking shit out of him.
Yep. As soon as it loads.
A clue, a clue.
A blue?
Oh, wait, now it's green, and now it's pink. Oh, you're sending me mixed signals here, blue.
Blue, why don't you just fucking tell me what it is? Jesus Christ.
I am a
Blue's
dog.
not
I
bad.
can't talk. I mean, woof.
And Steve is like wondering, how do I draw multiple personality disorder?
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. Oh no, my electric's overdue.
Yeah, you need the main character's help.
Steve, this is a subpoena. Ooh, he immediately closes the box.
It's jury duty.
It's jury duty.
The suspect was seen at the side of the room holding a game, the board game Clue. A clue! A clue!
The other thing, though,
That's what I said, yes.
I'm probably gonna get some weird looks admitting this, but I just find Cat more interesting than Raven.
I mean,
No, why do you think weird looks? Because it's just why? Because you're not allowed to be a fan of one thing more than the other.
No, it's
Well,
just like,
no.
you know, I'm watching you play Gravity Rush right now, and if I were playing this, I'd probably be thinking like, it's kind of cool that I get to play as Raven for a little while, but I kind of wish I was playing as Cat.
honestly, you know what? It's a common problem with these sorts of things because the edgy rival loner character loses its appeal if it's around too long. It's actually, I think, part of the reason why Shadow stopped being as popular because Shadow wasn't around a lot in Sonic Adventure 2. So when he was around, the mystery and whatnot led to there being more of an impact, and then he's around in every game all over the place because he's popular, and it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, they overdid him. Shadow's fine in short spurts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
well,
Ted's
that's,
saying.
I think, part of the appeal of the mysterious alter ego kind of character, you know, is that you don't see them a lot, so they're mysterious and edgy and ooh, you know. And if you see them a lot, you get tired of them because they're not necessarily maybe the mystery isn't as cool once you actually figure it out, you know. So I think Shadow especially had that problem when his mystery was solved and he had a satisfying conclusion, and then they decided to keep on putting him into games.
Well, also they're not as
So-
relatable.
Yeah, that's
just in general.
that is also true. Whereas like Kat is a very down to earth protagonist, and that's why I like her. And Raven, you know, while the super cool edge-tastic rival character is fun, it's just like, what kind of pizza do they want? What do they watch on TV? Nobody knows.
You can't even imagine asking Raven that question, can you? Not with a straight
So-
face, you can't.
See any good
Well,
movies
no,
lately?
no. In the story, she's a canonically big eater.
Oh,
They make a joke about that multiple times.
of course.
Is it the only thing they make a joke about with her? Because that's
More or less, yeah.
Because that's another thing about a lot of another kind of trope thing that I'm not a big fan of. The always gets lost is one that pops up a lot.
Always
'cause,
gets lost, eats a lot. You know, the one quirk these characters have to try and humanize them past how
Yeah.
cool they are.
Yeah, Anya's from Bravely Default had that problem with me, where she's a very like detached, not super like relatable character and also not very interesting. But then she had like the quirk where she gets lost lots of times. Lol 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 lol. You know.
She's emo Linkle. Great.
Yeah. Or is Linkle Peppy Anya's?
Which,
Idia's better
which
anyway.
did come
is
first?
the-
I actually don't remember.
Bravely Default.
Bravely
Bravely
Default
Default
was like a year or two. It might have been 2 because the Japanese version came out earlier. And the version we got was like a re-release because
I really
all
need
of
to
the
get Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition because I haven't actually gotten around to playing as Linkle yet. At all.
So did you play the 3DS version?
No. Why would I do
Okay,
that?
well then good. Then yes, the definitive edition is a good purchase. Then if you did play the 3DS version, I would actually say
Oh,
skip
wait,
it because
yeah,
you've
that's right.
seen all
That's
the
why I
content.
didn't bother with the Wii U version because Linkle's story stuff wasn't in it, right?
Yeah, you could only download her and play her in free play. So
Yeah.
that was it.
But they had
So-
it in the 3DS
wait,
version. I was like, "Oh."
why are we a Griffin now?
But
Because we fused with Cat's cat, and now we're a bird cat thing.
oh, okay.
Cool.
I mean,
We did it. We saved the world.
okay. So
Neat.
basically, we used our fusion spell Final Smash. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
As ladylike.
Oh no.
So is this a real? Is this actually French or is it
It's a
gibberish?
made up French.
Made up French, okay. Because I do hear them saying like Raven, sometimes.
Yeah, no, there is a fake language, but it is based off of French.
Yeah, I remember us asking this question in the first commentary of this. It's
Yeah.
like it's heavily based on French, but it's not.
I honestly I like the gibberish.
Part of
maybe
me
this is
wants
just-
to ask why French, but then another part of me recognizes that's my like American English native speaking privilege just rearing its head in my brain and thinking that should be the default. So, yeah.
Yeah, because this might be my nostalgia for like the N64 Banjo-Kazooie area where
Well, it's not exactly
You know,
that
kinda-
either. It's meant to sound like something they actually speak in the fictional universe. And you know,
Well,
that
I
makes
think
sense.
it's a good modern version of that.
It makes
kind of
sense because
talk.
like it makes sense that a fictional universe would have its own languages. I mean, like we're so used to like going to a galaxy far, far away and everyone inexplicably speaks English. So
It's a galactic standard, Lewis.
it's English. Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
or you could do it. You could do it in the way Metal Gear Solid 3 does, where it's said that they're speaking Russian, but for the sake of convenience, everything is
or
just said in English.
you could
anyway.
do it the Tekken way, where everybody just talks at each other in different languages, and everybody knows seven
Everybody-
different languages at once.
It's like Punch Out.
Well,
Or we could
yeah,
do-
Little Mac
or-
is very bilingual.
Or we could do
multilingual.
the hunt for Red October, where Russian is Scotsman.
yeah. There's scenes where like Nina Williams is talking to Heihachi, and Nina Williams is like, "Are you sure this plan is going to work?" And then Heihachi's just talking at her in Japanese, and then they meet Claudio, who is Italian. He's speaking Italian at them, and they're all just talking to each other. It's like each person in this room is trilingual, and I have no idea how they pulled that off because none of them study. They all just beat each other.
And they're all
in the
being
face.
that stubborn guy who refuses to talk to the others in their language.
Oh, of course they are, because everybody on the
No,
Tekken cast
they
is...
study. No, study. Ted, they study by hitting the books.
Good one.
Eh.
Yeah, but I don't believe that anybody in the Tekken universe actually like takes the time to study for that, because everybody in the Tekken roster is either an asshole or a moron with no.
No, they're all they're
yeah,
all
that
just,
does beg the question: how does Kazuya and Heihachi actually have time to run a company?
they're all just wearing
They
Mass
don't.
Effect translator implants. That's all. In Mass
So
Effect, basically, everyone is speaking their own language, and no one has a need to speak anyone else's language because everyone has an implant. It only ever comes into play like once or twice, but like if someone speaks a word in their language that the translator can't translate, they'll just hear that word, and the character will have to ask, "Wait, what did you just say? I didn't get that. My translator glitched." You know, I think it happens like once in an optional scene, but that's the explanation for how that works.
So, Raven died and then wasn't born as Sancha anymore?
No, Sasha. Basically, what happened is there was a paradox with how Raven existed as she was, so they had to kind of make Sasha again, and Raven's just kind of her own thing now.
Oh no.
So she was Sasha and
Yes.
became Raven.
And that caused problems. So
Okay. Okay. So you're like an alternate universe version of yourself. We need some sort of like superhero nickname for you now because you can't call yourself what you were being called before. So okay, let's see. Raven's taken though. The Teen
Oh my
Titans have
God.
that one.
I was like, Ryan, I gotta say, your cropping needs work.
yes.
Hey, to be fair, editing
they're-
this
if-
kind
if-
of crap
if-
is annoying, so
If
I
they're
don't blame them.
if they're gonna make a knockoff Shadow for their game, I'm gonna just knock off this.
Wait, hold on, was Shadow not expecting that explosion behind him in that one photo?
No, the explosion.
Cool guys
so-
don't
so
look
you
at
have to-
No,
explosions.
the thing is,
so
No, but they're
Shadows-
scared
He
shitless
just
by
ripped
it.
a massive fart into a flaming gas station. So,
All right, so the pictures over this are plot spoilers.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
I
I
see.
made a
Okay. Well, thank you for looking out for us.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that freaking panel from the Archie comic, where Shadow's just like, oh.
Those
Oh,
comics
no.
were
The,
great.
the best part about that panel is that it's Marine the Raccoon who caused that face.
Yeah.
The thing is, those comics were great, and I really, really wish that Archie hadn't screwed the pooch on like rights and stuff, so that they maybe could have continued. But
Archie
Yeah,
Comics
a
being
lot of the-
bad
a lot-
company? I'm
I mean,
shocked.
half the blame goes to Ken Penders.
yeah, too. But like that was resolved well before they lost the rights to the comics. They just
Was it?
stopped using those characters.
No, Ken Penders kept trying to cause problems, and that caused headaches for Archie, which caused headaches for Sega, and Sega's just like, we're not dealing with this anymore.
Right. Is that Shadow from Sonic Megamix?
Okay, the picture behind him was like young Raven or Sasha, so I'm making the joke that it's it's classic Shadow.
Is that classic Shadow from Sonic Megamix, or is that some other unrelated fan render, though?
It's an image I found online.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Ryan typed in classic Shadow. There you go.
Yep,
It
basically.
still baffles me that Sonic Megamix has a classic Shadow. Okay.
Okay, Raven the Shifter. Okay, right there, Raven the Shitter. Very
Okay,
confused.
so we're done with the DLC, and next part
Yep.
we can get started on the actual game proper. So I'm looking forward to
Yep, we'll be seeing that in the next part of Gravity Rush.